Thanks to Nate Rosenblum, who's been working with me all season and taking shots at the farm. And so we have a little record here. I'm working on 4 different plots this year, 2.5 acres total, relatively intensive production. And we have a series of shots that juxtapose the beginning, middle, and end of the season to get you an idea of what one garden, permaculture garden, would look like. I don't even really call it permaculture, but it's at least informed by permaculture. And it doesn't look like much in that first part of the season. You can see you can see a lot of brown there, but almost all of it actually's got litter on and is covered with last year's vegetation to some extent. So this is the 4th year on this site, and we'll just go through some of the slides here and see how best I can do it.
What time of year is that? What month is that?
Oh, this would be early spring, like early April probably. There's a blue Ford PV pickup with white camper in the parking lot with the lights on. And there was a blue Ford pickup out here. Okay. And this is what it looks like more in the middle of the season. Now it's pretty green, and my goal in my gardening is what I call closed canopy garden, where you really, it's pretty much plants from one end of the farm to the other. Except we have chips in some areas. So we do chips. There's biomass piles from last year's crops, the residues in there. There's a lot of perennial herbs. Basically, I plant perennial herbs. In the first year, it's annuals, perennial herbs, vegetables, shrubs, berries, and trees all get planted, not necessarily that first year, but a lot of times it's all in the first year. There's a hedgerow around the complete outside, and next. And this is a little raspberries here, and there's chives over here, and there's some multiplier onions. There's rows of various kinds of herbs and Joe Pye wheat. So in this picture, there'll be probably 20 different crop plants. Okay? And put some grass and fruit trees in this year. French sorrel, blackroot. There's some of the biomass piles in the system. Next. This is a fall shot now. The Joe Pye wheat's flowering. There, you can see now. You can see where the rows are to some extent. But over time, there's less and less rows in the environment. I plant my field in rows to start with because it's easier to manage. Some people, of course, do a lot more convoluted, but I'm on a bigger scale here than the backyard garden. But the idea is that it's just a big sea of vegetation. And what happens in my system over time, this is called alfalfa, and there's what we might call weeds in the system. It's probably 90% of the biomass is crop and maybe 10% weeds, though in some areas the weeds get higher percentage. So I like having maybe we'll see a shot here of some of the annual crops later now. Okay.